Hello and welcome back to the Greenhorn Photo Taker. We are at Hacklebarney State Park and it is pouring out. Well, at least raining out. And I wanted to try this park on a weekend on a rainy day because it has supposedly a wonderful brook running through it. And generally I like these locations better when all the foliage around that stream and in the area is wet. It has that awesome glistening look. Especially if you add a circular polarizer. Also, this is a very populated park, so I kind of timed it perfectly today, where it's been raining out for hours. I have the entire parking lot to myself, and I'm just waiting a few minutes. The radar shows that this storm should be over any moment now. I may go out in a second anyway, just to start the scouting process before the rain stops. I'd really want this place to myself, so maybe we'll get lucky and figure that out. I've always wanted to come to Hacklebarney State Park, but never really had an opportunity because I was always afraid of the crowds and being able to spend some time at a location, you know, with the family around me and forget about a vlog. That would be impossible. I had never thought about, you know, timing it for a rainstorm, so today worked out very well on my behalf. I also have to thank the weather forecasting services of NOAA and Weather Underground. Both had the rain ending sometime around 2 p.m. It sounds worse than it is, just a light drizzle right now. And it's 1:43, so couldn't ask for anything more than that. There shouldn't be too many cascades here, as far as I know. I think it's mainly just the brook itself. Now, one of the items I'm already noticing is the brook is brown from the rain, so I do wonder how that'll photograph. This is the first time coming out, for myself, coming out so soon after a rainstorm. Yeah, that may be a mistake. We'll have to see. If you're coming here yourself one day, I am on the Red Trail, which is about 2 miles along the brook. But you do have to return, I believe it's via the White Trail. So maybe a total of 3 miles altogether. Tried to set up behind me, but it is very loud at this cascade, so I think I'll cut over to a voiceover to try to explain what I see and what I like about the composition and some of the problems that I may have as well. 3 things caught my attention here. First and foremost, the Black River itself with the wonderful white foam I thought would show up great in a long exposure. Second, the rocks on either side of the river I thought cradled the scene very nicely. And third, the green foliage of the backdrop was really striking to me in person. Very deep, very green, and showed up great with the polarizer on. And as I zoom in here to the river itself, I thought that streak of white foam on the right-hand side of the last little cascade that is kind of leading you into the bottom of the frame, I wanted to see what that would look like with that long exposure as well. So overall, this was a really nice scene that I think came out fairly well when I look at the picture. The wispy white foam did work out mostly as planned, but I think the rocks themselves call the most attention to the shot. Just that wet, I don't know if it's granite or what kind of rock it is, but that wet look to it, I thought lent nicely to this photo. I think a set of dry rocks just wouldn't have come out as nice. The one mistake I made that I don't love is in the top left-hand corner. Those trees, those lighter colored trees are fine, but that one dark branch just sticking out of the middle of nowhere really is problematic for me.
So what's really attracting me to the shot, I've got the stream flowing out of the left bottom corner of the frame, and it's acting as a leading line right through that image. And it's really anchored by some gnarly roots from this, I believe it's an oak tree over to my right. And then in the back, there are several leaning trees, all moving towards the left, but there is this lone one fallen tree, kind of contrasting that over to the right. I don't know if that makes any sense, but it did seem unique to me and caught my eye, so I wanted to take a shot of it. Yeah, this is a lovely little scene.
This ended up being one of my favorite pictures on the year to date, with the gnarly roots on the right hand side peppered with those light green, they're probably weeds, but we'll call them foliage, coming up in between the cracks. I really love that. The Black River itself has these gentle curves flowing out of the screen on the bottom left, and if you even follow the river up to maybe the midpoint, you can see the wispy stripes of white foam as well. I really like that touch. The bottom left has that nice rounded rock with a couple of leaves on top, and that rounded rock really just flows so elegantly with the curvature of the stream. That whole section I think is mesmerizing, from the wispy white curve in the middle of the frame all the way out of the bottom left, following multiple curves and multiple curves. That's pretty darn cool in my opinion. And then the top of the screen is of interest too, whether it is those two lighter colored bushes right in the center of frame, or the angled trees really across the entire top of the frame, with at least one of them highlighted by some really great moss. I think this picture really is pretty wonderful. And then if you look very closely, I didn't even know I captured it. I wasn't intentionally trying to capture it. The waterfalls from the last picture is in the top right hand part of the frame as well. So this is a must return in the fall foliage. I honestly can't wait to see if I can recapture this image with some reds and yellows. I think that would be stupendous. From this point forward, Hacklebarney State Park failed me. Rather, I should say the weather failed me. The sun began to pop out, and within 15 minutes, it was a constant, thwarting any chance at new photos. The good news was that most of the remaining route, while lovely, didn't offer up any particularly beautiful scenes that I would have pulled my tripod out for. Bad news? One of the final scenes was indeed exquisite and will undoubtedly be the feature of another video this fall. Thank you so very much for watching. Get out and explore.